Being here for this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, as always, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So would everybody please rise? And Councilman Schneider, would you lead us?
Be my honor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you please remain standing for a moment of silence and reflect upon the sacrifices that our servicemen and women make every day, providing us a blanket of freedom under which we are protected in the great nation that we live in. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan.
And I thank Colonel Jessup.
I thought you were trying to squeeze it off forwards. Colonel Chess.
Okay, once again, good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight's Town Board meeting, and thank you at home for watching our meeting this evening. Today's date is Wednesday, June 28th, 2017. And for the record, all board members are present with the exception of Councilwoman McDonough, who is on vacation with her family, couldn't be with us this evening. We have Ann Spofford all the way down to my right. She's our Carmel Town Clerk. And all the way down to my left is Greg Fulchetti. He's the Carmel Town Council. So tonight's meeting, we have two public hearings. So we're going to open the meeting tonight with the public hearings. We're going to start with public hearing number one. And public hearing number one is for a proposed joint increase in improvement of facilities of Water Districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14. In said town being the automatic meter infrastructure and water meter project to replace the water meters throughout the various water districts in the town of Carmel, including original equipment and incidental improvements and expenses in connection thereof at a maximum estimated cost of $3,350,000. So before we get started, I'm going to ask our town clerk, Ann Spofford, to go ahead and read the notice of the public hearing. Ann?
Please take notice that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, will meet at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue in Mahopac, New York, in said town on the 28th day of June 2017 at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, for the purpose of conducting a public hearing related to the proposed joint increase and improvement of the facilities of Water Districts number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14 in said town, being the automatic meter infrastructure and water meter project to replace water meters throughout the various water districts, including original equipment and incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, at a maximum estimated cost of $3,350,000, at which time, place, said town board will hear all interested persons in the subject thereof concerning the same. Such cost shall be annually apportioned among the districts by said town board, and the amount so apportioned shall be levied and collected in each district in the manner provided by law. It is expected that the appropriation of costs between districts shall be as follows. Water District number 1's share is 1.79%, or $60,000. Carmel Water District number 2's share is 54.33%, $1,820,000. Carmel Water District number 3's share is 11.19%, $375,000. Water District number 4's share is 3.76%, $126,000. Water District number 5's share is 1.19%, or $40,000. Carmel Water District number 6's share is 2.39%, $80,000. Water District number 7's share is 2.63%, $88,000. Water District number 8's share is 8.81%, $295,000. Water District number 9's share is 3.52%, $118,000. Water District number 10's share is 2.63%, $88,000. Water District number 12's share is 2.60%, $87,000. Water District number 13's share is 1.79%, $60,000. And Water District number 14's share is 3.37%, $113,000. The capital project has been determined to be a Type 2 action under SECRA. It has been determined it will not result in any adverse significant environmental impact. The map plan and report for the capital project are on file in the office of the town clerk, where they may be inspected during regular business hours. dated Mahopac, New York, June 8, 2017, by order of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, Ann Spofford, Town Clerk.
Okay, Ann, thank you so much for the reading of the notice of public hearing. At this time, I need the town board to open up the public hearing.
So moved.
All right, so moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the public hearing is now open. I have one resident that signed up to speak this evening, Kevin McCarthy. Kevin?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good. For you.
Good. Can you come up to the podium?
Before the question, can we state what's in each one of these districts, 1 through 18? Because I don't know which district I'm in.
One through 14?
District 9?
Uh,
Okay, District 9.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is that in District 9, Woodland Road is one of the main roads, and I would just like to make sure that my road, which runs perpendicular off Woodland Road, but is still part of Woodland Road, does get included in this major, spending.
For the water meters, correct, sir?
For the
Just
water
the
for the water
changing
meters
the-
and for the water
Okay,
lines
well,
underneath.
that's the next public hearing. That's public hearing number 2 tonight, is the water main replacement.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine, you can,
Okay.
so noted, that you currently reside in Ward number 9's district?
Correct.
You have a water meter?
I have a water
Which means
meter,
your house is serviced by a water main and a service line.
yes, and the road was dedicated years ago, and it's been paved once. All right, but since it,
What's the name of the street again, sir?
Woodland Road. Now,
Woodland Road, yeah. that's it.
Back in 40 years ago, Kirkwood Road was supposed to branch off Woodland Road and to continue onto what is now Kirkwood Road. But the problem is, the street that I live on was never finished. The road was never finished down.
If you have a meter, sir, you're part of the district.
project.
So you'd be
Yeah.
part of the project.
Okay, but it will be, I have a meter,
Yes,
yes.
you're-
If you have a town of Carmel meter,
Yes.
you're part of the district, so you'll be part of the project, sir.
That's fine. Okay.
That's the water replacement, not the main replacement, which I think is what your concern is that the lines that are in the ground are going to be replaced.
Yes, that's what
So
I'm,
that's the second one, right? Right now, we're, the one that's open for discussion right now is the meters, but definitely duly noted, and we're going to talk about that one next.
thank you.
after this.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else here for the public hearing on the water meters? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mike Preziosi, Water District Number 7. I just have some questions that wasn't explicitly made clear in the map plan report by the engineer. I'm guessing at this point it's just permission from the board to bond for the improvements. My question is whether or not a type of meter has been selected and the proposed rollout, when the meter is going to be installed and by whom. Also, I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't being done in a knee-jerk reaction to capture unaccounted for revenue in water districts, unaccounted for unpaid fees.
It's actually the opposite. It's actually to help the homeowners.
Okay.
Have you bought or sold a house recently?
No, I'm well aware of the purpose of the meters.
No, what I'm saying is a lot of people all of a sudden at the time of their sale, they didn't capture all those years of water usage, and all of a sudden they get a water bill at the end when they're about to close on their house for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and they're like, wow.
Right, because it's unaccounted for revenue that hasn't been collected by the previous.
It's still owed. No, the owner, at the time of the sale, now it will be charged to the seller, not to the buyer. Same thing. So this,
Right.
instead of having that bulk $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at one time, it'll be normal. Each year, they pay what they've used.
Well, I get billed quarterly, I believe.
Whatever it is, but I mean,
Always pay on
support.
time. My point being, I just hope it's not a reaction to accounts for unaccounted for,
No, because
unaccumulated revenue.
because the revenues are coming in at some point. We don't lose revenue. It gets collected, like I
Yeah,
said,
but
whether
it's passing revenue on to the wrong person. The property owner purchasing a house should not be paying for previous use.
No. At the time of the sale, at the time of the change of title, there's a water meter reading.
Right.
Which the seller pays. The purchaser doesn't, purchaser starts again at
Correct,
at zero.
but my question is not necessarily that. It's for a long-standing citizen paying their bill on time and a neighbor that may not be paying their bill on time. Are they being, this is not a reaction to that?
No.
I also just question, the need for a lot of these small community wells to be experiencing an uptick in fees, even if it's just for 5 years, as being proposed, because we're not pulling water from an aqueduct, we're not pulling water from the DEP, there's no pass-through charges. These are small community wells, servicing in some cases less than 150 homes. So to me, if the water meter is working and the fees are being collected, to have to put in an automatic meter, is it really benefiting these smaller communities, these smaller community wells?
Yeah, part of the problem is, there's a good percentage of water users who have meters that are not reading their meters, so that there's getting what's called an estimated bill.
Right.
The controller's office sends out a card when it comes time to read your meters, and it goes
Understand.
right to your home, and some people do read their meters, and they send in the accurate reader meeting,
Right, yep.
and they're billed correctly for the amount of water that they use during that period. Others don't. So, really what Frank was saying is, this is gonna make it more efficient for both the
No,
town.
I'm in
customers-
agreement with that. I think it's a good idea to put automatic readers in. I just I wanted a little bit more explanation as to why, in this juncture of time, are we doing this? And whether or not, also, if there's been any evaluation of potentially using some fund balance for some smaller districts so that we don't have to bond. I don't know if there's revenue in each of the districts, and my district per se is only 119 homes, $88,000. Is there enough in a fund reserve to pay for this without having to bond?
Without having to bond, no.
Right.
No, there's not.
Not in your district,
Right.
there's. And the remainder is pre-filed. I would almost guarantee
But that does not-
in your district, there's not enough in the general fund in your district to put that bill.
Maybe you could speak to that, Mary?
Yeah, I can answer that. We would have to bond this project as a whole, but then once the project is bonded, we would look at the fund balance in each district and, possibly pay off that, particular part of the bond faster than another district that couldn't afford it. So that's the only way. We'd have to bond it as a whole, but, a more healthier district could pay it back faster.
Okay, so that's,
that's-
my question was that, whether or not that was
Yes.
evaluated to potentially offset some costs, because for a small district to have to pay what's estimated at $750 or so per meter, which seems a little bit low when you factor in cost of the meter, installation, and all that. And I just don't want these costs to be unknown by most of the residents. It doesn't
Right.
look like there's a large turnout for residents to be concerned with that, so.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, is anyone else here for the public hearing number 1 on the water meters? Okay, I need a motion to close public hearing number 1. All right, and I guess we'll go on, should we go on to 1A then, Greg?
Yeah, I would do that. I would close
Well,
out what
we'll
you're
do
going to do
1A
on
and
each,
then-
on each
okay.
particular project, and then
Okay. All right, 1A on the agenda this evening is a resolution of public interest order in the matter of the joint increase and improvement of the facilities of water districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 in the town of Carmel. So at this time, Jonathan, Councilman Schneider, could you read Resolution 1A?
Sure. This is a resolution authorizing the borrowing of up to $3,350,000 for the purpose of water meters with a useful life of 10 years. This is not subject to permissive referendum. This is a order that is in the public interest for where the allocation will be apportioned across each district for their shares, and I offer this resolution as pre-filed with the town clerk and.
he's not reading water 9. Did he read, okay, so that's fine.
Yeah, 1A.
Offer this resolution as pre-filed.
Okay. Resolution was offered by Councilman Schneider as pre-filed, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci? Yes. Councilman Lombardi? Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, 1B on the agenda this evening, under public hearing number 1, is a resolution authorizing the issuance of $3,350,000 in bonds of the town of Carmel to pay for the cost of automatic meter infrastructure and water meter project of water districts 1 through 14 minus 11 in the town of Carmel. And the reason I'm saying minus 11, because 11 is, we do not have a water district number 11. They skipped, they went from 10 to 12. They left 11 open in the event that Water District 11 was created. It wasn't, so it doesn't exist.
No, instead of skipping 11.
Okay? And so 1B, Councilman Lombardi, would you read 1B, please?
Sure, this is a resolution authorizing the issuance of $350,000 for the payment of automatic water infrastructures for Carmel Water Districts number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14, in the amount stated above, as distributed amongst the water districts as pre-filed. And this is a type 2 action, and the borrowing period is for a maximum of 40 years. I offer the resolution as read and pre-filed with the town clerk.
Okay, offered by Councilman Lombardi, I need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, so that's public hearing number 1. We're going to move on to public hearing number 2. And I'm going to ask the town clerk, will once again, read the notice of the public hearing. This is for, well, anyway, you go ahead and read it, Ann, because it's included in the notice of public hearing anyway, so.
Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, will meet at the Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue in Mahopac, New York, on June 28, 2017, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, for the purpose of conducting a public hearing upon a certain map, plan, and report, including an estimate cost in relation to the proposed increase and improvement of the facilities of Carmel Water District Number 9 in said town, consisting of the reconstruction of water mains, including incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, at a maximum estimated cost of $882,800. Said capital project has been determined to be a Type 2 action pursuant to the regulations of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, promulgated pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA, the implementation of which, as proposed, said regulations provide, will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. At said public hearing, said town board will hear all persons interested in the subject matter thereof. Dated June 8, 2017, Mahopac, New York, by order of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York. Ann Spofford, Town Clerk.
Okay, Ann, thank you for the reading of the notice of the public hearing. This time I need a motion from the board to open public hearing number 2.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Schneider, seconded by Councilman Lombardi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, public hearing number 2 is now open, and I have one gentleman that signed up, I believe, Mike Borelli.
Nobody from the area, from that district?
Is there anybody here from Water District number 9? Oh, sir, ma'am, you are also?
They want to speak.
All right, did you want to
They want
speak?
to speak first, I'd rather they speak first.
Yeah, sir, did you want to speak again, or did, you can?
I stated my question already.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. Start dates. I'm going to let the engineer respond to that.
Could you just
Oh, can I get your name? Mrs. Goodwin? Sir? Kevin McCarthy. Okay, Kevin McCarthy. Ma'am, can I get your first name? Francis. Francis Goodman, thank you. Okay, Rich, can you answer that question?
So, Mrs. Goodwin, the intention is that the package will be developed for a fall, to let it out for bid in the fall, to do work in the spring. So it'll be in the spring of next year that this work will be worked on. Sorry, you have to go through another winter with it.
Spring of 18. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay, good, thank you. All right, Mike?
A couple of questions on this, but I see the town board is falling into a pattern of preparing the packets without all the numbers in it. And I think the people should see all the numbers. I have a couple of questions. I understand how we go out for a bond on high, you try to keep it up high because you don't want to go back to increase the bond amount. So I understand that by being in the business years ago. But why doesn't the town engineer prepare the bid sheet?
The engineering department has prepared this information.
The estimated cost and the bond, the 882, 800, these are your numbers?
These are from the engineering department. They were prepared by John Falchetti, but he's part of the engineering department.
Okay. That's an interesting statement. who looks, do you oversee these numbers too? Do you look at these numbers too?
Yes,
You do? You're good with all of these numbers?
I am, yes.
Okay. Well, I put in a lot more water mains than what you have down over here. And I never paid a constructive administration fee. I always had Rob Vara inspect it. He always inspected the roads, he always inspected the sewers, he always inspected the construction work. What's changed in the town hall that we're now paying out $50,000 for at construction administration? Silence is golden. You answered it.
It's, Rob Vara is not the person who's going to be doing that. That's part of what the,
Or if
John
Rob
Falsetti
Vara's
is
done
doing.
it for the last 20 years competently, what's the reason for not
Wasn't
doing
a
it
question
now?
on any competence level, it's just that Rob
Hold
Vara's
on,
not doing it.
Subdivisions he does.
Excuse me?
Rob Vara has never done capital projects. He's done subdivisions and
Site
smaller
plans.
things and site plans, but he
What's the
hasn't done
difference?
I guess the magnitude, I would guess.
It's a capital project versus a subdivision
You're
project.
talking about 2,500 linear feet of water line.
Yeah,
That's all you're talking about. Talking about 160 homes.
Yeah.
And you have a fee in here, DOH, DH, and DEC, 5%, $35,000 fees. There's no fees to the town of Carmel for upgrading a water system. A letter submitted to the Board of Health. Board of Health signs off, and that's it. Where did the $35,000 in fees come from? I'm asking this because my late partner's wife lives in this district, and on your $882,800, I see $150,000 that could be shaved off this with a blink of the eye. Not only on this one, I've seen it on previous ones that you've prepared, but now that the engineering department has grown, maybe I should reevaluate how I come up here and say something. It's, the estimated capital projected cost, every homeowner should know exactly what the breakdown is. I had to look for it. It wasn't in the public hearing. It wasn't in the initial one. Same thing on Long Pond Woods. You have a couple $100,000 of waste in Long Pond. You have over $100,000 of waste here. And before you grant any of this out, I think some of the homeowners should put a little committee together and see where this money's going. It's, I mean, who on the board, is there anybody on the board that looks at these numbers? I mean, you got $35,000 for fees. What fees?
We all look at them on the review after the engineering department and after the comptroller has reviewed them and then also reviewed them with the bond council.
Well, I'm just asking, what fees are $35,000? What are permitting DOH, Department of Health, DH and FDEC at 5%? That's the formula number you plugged in, as if it's a layman doing the job out on the street. So this is the town of Carmel doing the job. There shouldn't be any fees. Tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody?
The permitting fees include.
Construction
whatever
administration at
they are to acquire the permits. It's
$48,800
not
is a
to
slap
pay
in the
the
face to 160
issuing
homeowners.
agency. I don't want to talk over Mike. but-
That was the the construction oversight, Mike?
Construction administration of
Administration.
$48,800 is a slap in the face to 160 homeowners that are going to pay it, since we have an adequate, capable, in-house human body that can do it, and has done it before, which everybody here knows. This is, like I says, I've wanted to speak about this for the last couple of years, but now it's going to come out. It's going to come out every time I see one of these. Maintenance and protection of traffic, 50,000. 160 up on Vista Terrace, 160 people. Temporary water service, 30,000. You're plugging in high numbers, and the people that are going to come in with the bids are going to get close to that number. Rock excavation, that's a standard number. Water main, standard number. But these others, contingency, 20%, I mean, you're just allowing, you're getting too complacent on your bid sheets going out. And there should be somebody in this building looking at it. If a Mr. Franzetti to say it was done by the engineering department, by an engineer that's with the engineering department now, which I didn't know our engineering department grew. That's a startling revelation this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Okay, is there anyone else here for public hearing number 2 on the water main replacement? Okay, all right. There being none, there's no other speakers for that. We're going to go on to 2A, correct? Oh, we got to close. I need a motion to close the public hearing. So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Close. All those in favor? Aye. All right. So 2A on your agenda this evening. 2A, I'm going to ask Councilman Lupinacci. Could you do 2A, but you can paraphrase it? You can,
Yep.
it's pre-filed? Okay.
Whereas the Town Board of Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, has duly caused to prepare a map plan and report including an estimated of cost pursuant to Section 202-B of the town law related to the proposed increase in improvements of facilities of Carmel Water District Number 9 in the town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, consisting of the reconstruction of water mains, including incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, at a maximum estimated cost of $882,800. And whereas in a meeting of said town board duly called and held on June 7, 2017, an order was duly adopted by it and entered in the minutes specifying that the said town board would meet and consider the increase in improvements of facilities of Carmel Water District Number 9 in said town at a maximum estimated cost of $882,800. And to hear all persons of interest in the subject thereof concerning the same at the Town Hall in Mahopac, New York, and in said town on June 28, 2017, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time. And upon the evidence given at the aforesaid public hearing, it is hereby found and determined that it is in the public interest to make the increase and improvements of the facilities of Carmel Water District Number 9 in the town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, consisting of the reconstruction of water mains, including incidental improvements and expenses in connection therewith, at a maximum estimated cost of $882,800. I offer this resolution as read and pre-filed with the town clerk, Ann Spofford.
Okay, offered by Councilman Lupinacci, seconded by Councilman Lombardi and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution this evening is a 2B on the public hearing number 2 agenda, authorizing the issuance of $882,800 in bonds of the town of Carmel to pay for the cost of the reconstruction of water mains of the Carmel Water District Number 9. So, Councilman Schneider, can you please read Resolution 2B?
Sure, this is a resolution authorizing the issuance of up to $882,800 in bonds for the town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, to pay for the cost of reconstruction of water mains of Carmel Water District Number 9 in the town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York. And it is a resolution, it's been determined in the best public interest to improve the facilities of Carmel Water District Number 9 at an estimated cost of up to $882,800. It has been determined to be a Type 2 action pursuant to 6 NYCRR Part 617.5, Subchapter C2 of Regulations of New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. There is a useful life of up to 40 years on this project, and this authorizes the issuance of up to the said amount of bonds as read and as pre-filed with the town clerk. I offer this resolution.
Okay, offered by Councilman Schneider. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci.
Yes.
Councilman Lombardi.
Aye.
Supervisor Schmidt.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, all right, that concludes the 2 public hearings for this evening's Town Board special meeting, voting meeting. I need a motion to close this special voting meeting. So moved by Councilman Lombardi. Seconded by Councilman Schneider. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, at this time, I need a motion to open the Town Board work session.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Schneider.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lombardi. Good night. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the town board work session is open at this time, and the first item is to review town board minutes of June 16th and 21st, 2017. Unless there's any town board members that would like to comment on it?
Should be June 14th.
Oh,
I'll
June
abstain from
14th?
both.
June 14th. June 14th, is the 21st good, John?
Yep.
Okay, and the 21st of 2017.
I'm going to abstain.
A week and 2 weeks ago.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go out of order on the agenda, and I'm going to ask, we have Mike Bartolotti, the Putnam County Clerk, here with us this evening, and Mike is here for a discussion of electronic filing of small claim assessment review, small claims reviews. So Mike, you want to just, I guess, go up to the table, yeah, the table's fine, yep, that's good. And just cover, explain to the board why you're here and
Sure.
why you need to update them regarding the scars. Thanks,
Well,
Mike.
I'll be brief. Thank you for having us here and for entertaining this, this possibility, which I think is really going to be great for handling the workload. As you know, particularly in years where towns do revals, the small claims process to have those, the assessments reviewed tend to be heavier in those years. And in anticipation for all this coming and to get with the 21st century, get with the, to make things more efficient. On the county level, for court filings, we've joined on with State Court Administration and gone into the New York State Court electronic filing program. It's called NICEF. We started in October of 16 on a consensual basis for all cases. And in the beginning of May of this year, we went mandatory on most cases. There's a few carve-outs. And SCARs, small claim assessment review petitions, are one of those cases that are mandatory. So as we get into the season, I believe Town of Carmel, the rules are going to be published on July the 3rd. So you have 30 days from there to file the small claims petition, which I think lands you somewhere around August 2nd. So those will be filed with our office, and tends to happen is when those are filed, you have to serve them. You usually serve them by either in hand or certified mail. There is a way through court e-filing that the respondents, the towns, can be served via email. And knowing that there's going to be some volume this year, and knowing that, I think it's a great idea, I had approached town attorney and saw if he thought it would be a wise idea to embark upon having the service effectuated electronically. That would be agreed upon by the town, agreed upon by us. So what would happen is when the petition's electronically filed, they would choose what town it is. And when it's electronically filed and it comes to the clerk of the court, to my office, we review it. If it's statutory compliant, we go ahead, they have the fee, the correct fee. We accept it for filing. It's deemed filed at that point. It is automatically sent to an inbox address that's provided by the Town of Carmel. Service is effectuated. The town clerk's office isn't inundated with mountains of paper. The individual filer or filing companies don't have to serve mountains of paper or mail out mountains of paper, and I think it's just a very effective way of handling it. So I hope that you all see it as the great opportunity and asset it'll be, and you decide that that's the direction you want to go in.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
certs,
No, I agree.
but no certs, just scars.
Yeah, just scars.
No certs.
No certs.
Just for SCARs, no certs. In fact, I think that technically tax certioraries are not under the mandatory umbrella because they do fall under Article 7. So I think that those are still, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they're still consensual at this point. Having said that, though, most cases are electronically filed, but because they fall out of this special carve-out for the small claims assessment review petitions, they're still going to have to be served the old-fashioned way.
Okay. All right, and Mike, who are they forwarded to electronically from the, does a copy go to the clerk and one to the town council?
What would happen is, I would leave it up to you folks, to Council Fulchetti and to Clerk Spofford, however you want to work it out. You provide me with an email address, and I would provide that to OCA, to the NICEF people at OCA, and they would just have it set up that whenever a small claims petition is filed for the town of Carmel, as soon as it's accepted by the county clerk's office, what happens is the filer, as soon as we accept it, the filer gets an email immediately in their inbox and says, hey, your submission has been accepted and has been filed by the county clerk's office. That same notification will go to the inbox, the email address that you folks give to me, and it'll say, hey, this is the town of Carmel small claims filing that's been served, electronically served upon you. And the filer will also get that notification, will also in their notification say notification was sent to the town of Carmel via this email address. So it's very it's streamlined, it's straightforward,
Yeah.
it works real well.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, how much is the fee to file a SCAR?
$30.
$30?
$30.
For a homeowner to file it?
Yes,
The
and
SCAR.
I know we're on, I'm on camera right now, so I'm gonna take this opportunity, I wish I had this time, to make a shameless plug for e-filing, and as opposed to the old days where you had to bring multiple paper copies to the clerk's office with a $30 check and have us stamp them, and then you have to go and mail them or serve them or whatever. I can't implore the people enough to get on NICEF and get your permissions. They have it back to you within hours. You file electronically. You do it from the comfort of your own home as long as you have a scanner and a PC, and it goes through 1, 2, 3. You could do it on a Saturday night if you got nothing going on, or you could do it at midnight or 10 o'clock in the morning. It's fantastic. And we're always around to help. You can call us up and we'll give you any help you need. That's my shameless plug.
Okay, good. No, I'm glad you
Very-
got that
very
in,
well
Mike.
done.
Good, thanks, very well said. Yeah, no, that's great. Does the board have any questions or comments? And the town clerk, do you have any questions for Mike?
As the date of July 3rd is fast approaching, how soon do we have to get this set up?
Well, we'd like to have it set by July 3rd. So at this point, as soon as you have an email address for me, I can provide it to OCA and they'll have it set up. They're very responsive.
Create the box.
We should contact Sullivan
Yeah,
David.
Sullivan Data can create
Yeah.
the box. And I think
It's an email address.
that Ann's going to have, for purposes of record access officer, she will have to have access to the box. If you want me to also, because I'll
Yeah.
be dealing with the scars, we can both have it.
Yeah, I think-
We don't need multiple boxes, I don't think, but
No.
one dedicated
Yeah.
For that purpose.
box recipient is probably fine.
Yeah, if I may, just one for logistical purposes, one inbox, whatever, SCAR dot petitions at Town of Carmel or whatever you use, and then you can just have that forward to multiple recipients if that's what you need. That's the cleaner way to do it.
All right.
Great.
Would you like to make a call to Sullivan Data tomorrow and set that up, Ann?
Of course.
If you could do that, great. All right,
And then you
thanks.
could just when you folks are set, just let me know what that email address is, and I'll get it over to OCA.
4 minutes to do that.
Okay,
Set up
great.
a box,
All right.
simple.
Any other questions for the county clerk while he's here? About anything? Registrations, driver's license renewals?
Permits, nothing.
Anything like that?
Anything else?
Passports?
I could be the answer man for a few more minutes, right?
You know, one thing that you and I have discussed previously is, I know sometimes you do these Saturday out and about passport
Correct.
registrations. We'd be more than happy to offer the town of Carmel on a Saturday for our residents here. Sometimes the lines at the post office to get a passport are extremely long.
I understand.
And I've told people in the past about your Saturday, availabilities. But if you'd like to come on the road, if it's possible to do on the road, we can do it here in the town of Carmel. We'll announce it, and this way maybe it's a little bit less stressful for your office during the week and less stressful for the post office for most people who can only get there on a Saturday.
Absolutely, I appreciate the offer, and I very well may take you up on that. We tend to do our passport Saturdays in the spring and in the fall. Spring in anticipation of busy summer season, in the fall anticipation of the holiday season. We've done this year was the first year that we did 2 in the spring. I did one at Phillipstown Town Hall over in Cold Spring, which was a fantastic response there, and our normal one in Carmel, which we were crushed all day. We had so many passports. And I think it's a great idea and a great opportunity to bounce around a little bit And I think it would be a great idea to come down. So I will talk to my deputy clerk and my staff, and we're definitely bouncing around the prospect of doing something in the Mayapack area. So if the offer's on the table, very well may take you up on it. So thank you.
Yeah, no, consider the offer there,
Awesome.
Mike. So just
Awesome.
let us know.
Awesome.
Keep in touch. All right.
All right.
Anything else for Mike? Nope, that's it. Mike,
Thank you.
thanks
Thank you
so
very
much for
much.
being
Thanks
here.
for the opportunity. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a great night.
See you soon, Mike. Okay, next item on the agenda, we have Alan Cassay here with us. He's with the auditing firm of PKF O'Connor Davies LLP. And Alan is here to go over and review with the town board the annual CAFR report, the comprehensive annual financial report for fiscal year ending 2016. And we have Mary Ann Maxwell, our town comptroller, is here with us also. And Michelle Tanafrancia, the senior account clerk in the comptroller's office, is joining us tonight as well. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Mary Ann, do you want to join Alan up at the table? Michelle, you could stay where you are. All right. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Alan, you want to take it away?
Certainly. Thank you, Supervisor Schmidt. I prepared a handout, but before I get to that, I just did want to go over the actual CAFR, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. It's a 128-page document that Mary Ann basically provided all the information for, and I just wanted to go over certain items within the report. On Roman numeral page number 12 is the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. That's the award you get for putting together this comprehensive annual financial report. I believe the town has received it in excess of 20 years. It's a prestigious award. It goes through a review process by the GFOA in Chicago, and it's something that the town should certainly be proud of. The next thing I'd like to point out is on page 2, which is part of the auditor's opinion. The second paragraph, there's a new paragraph in there this year. It's an emphasis of matter, because the Government Accounting Standards Board came out with a new pronouncement, statement number 73, which has to do with your LoSAP awards for the fire awards and the ambulance awards. There was a reclassification from the agency fund, and now they're being recorded in each of the district's funds. On page 4, just to take you through this, is the beginning of management's discussion and analysis, which was prepared by Mary Ann. Basically, it's an overview of the financial activities of the town for the year ended December 31st, 2016. It's definitely worth reading, and that runs from page 4 to 13. And then we can now go to the PowerPoint. So on page 1, the agenda, which is the audit results. And if you look at page 3, there are the audit results. And basically, we've completed our audit of the 2016 financial statements of the town of Carmel in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States of America. The objective was to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free of material misstatement. And part of the scope, we reviewed management's accounting estimates and the accounting treatment afforded all significant accounting matters. Our audit scope of the approach was directed at the evaluation of all significant aspects of the operations of the town to reduce audit risks to an acceptable level. The primary focus was not on each individual transaction, but on balances in the financial statements taken as a whole. We are satisfied that the scope of our audit was sufficient to enable us to express our opinion on these financial statements, and we issued what's known as an unmodified opinion. It's also known as a clean opinion. It's the best opinion that you could receive. On page 3, I prepared a fund balance for the general fund, a retrospective going back to 2012. And this is just a fund balance section. And I think if you look at the bottom numbers, the last number on the page where it says total fund balance, in 2012, the town's total general fund balance was $3.6 million. Going across to 2016, you'll see that the total fund balance is now $7,133,000. That's a 96% increase over these 5 years, okay? And we all know that soon after, right before 2012, there was quite a bit of a recession throughout the country, and the town weathered that recession well, and you came out and you were able to basically build your fund balance almost 100% from the time that the recession ended. And if you look at the number right above it, the unassigned fund balance, this is basically the rainy day fund, money that's free and clear, and the general fund could be used for anything. In 2012, the unassigned fund balance was $1,127,000. In 2016, the unassigned fund balance was almost $3 million. That represents almost 155% increase in the unassigned fund balance. Okay? If you look at page 5, which is the general fund budget to actual summary, the original budget for the revenues were $18,164,000. They went up slightly to $18,234,000, and the actual came in at $19,145,000, which is a 5% increase from 2015. And on a budgetary basis, it generated a positive budgetary amount for $910,000. On the expenditures, the original budget was $17.3 million, went up slightly to $17.7, and the actual results came in at $16.6, which was only up 1.2% from 2015, and that generated a positive budgetary variance of $1,102,000. So overall, the excess of revenues over expenditures for operations was $2,548,000, generating a positive budgetary variance of $2 million. The net change in fund balance, if you look in the final budget column in the bracketed $577,000, that was the amount of fund balance that you anticipated using in 2016. But the actual results, after you factor in the other financing sources and uses, which is the transfers out, you generated a surplus of $1,428,000, thereby generating an overall positive budgetary variance of $2,005,000. If you turn to page 6, here are some of the details of the general fund revenues budget to actual. I'll just go over some of the highlights. In the departmental income, you generated a positive variance of $93,000. The license and permits, there was a positive variance of $209,000, and that was basically an increase in the building permit fees and an increase in the actual number of fees that were issued. The state aid went up by, you had a positive variance of $345,000, and that was primarily from the mortgage tax. And the miscellaneous had a positive variance of $108,000, and there was various categories that individually added up to $88,000. So overall, the positive budgetary variance was $903,000, and incorporating the revenues, you had an increase of $872 for an overall 4.8% increase. If you turn to page 8, which is the general fund expenditures, here you had a positive budgetary variance of $1,102,000, and the net change in fund balance is the $1,428,000. And some of the highlights in terms of the budget variances and general government support had a $541,000 positive budgetary variance, and that was spread throughout the various categories listed. The assessor was $86,000, central data processing was $97,000, and unallocated insurance was about $42,000. The public safety category had a positive variance of $321,000, and that was mostly within the police for $286,000. And the culture and rec had a positive budgetary variance of $165,000, and that was mostly from the parks. So overall, you had a positive budgetary variance of $1.1 million, and the total budget with the revenues and expenditures was $2,005,000. And it's important to be aware of the fact that your general fund, the revenue budget, has been prepared very conservatively. And that's absolutely the right way to do it, only because you, for the most part, you virtually have no control over the activity for the revenues during the year. On the other hand, the expenditures you can control. But by preparing the revenue budget on a conservative basis, which you've done, which has been evidenced by the increase in the fund balance, you you're not setting yourself up for problems by overestimating your revenues. And that's basically it. I just want to say that, are there any questions?
Jonathan, you have any questions for him? Yeah, no, it was a great overview of the entire capital report, highlighting certain areas.
Right.
I think what, we're most impressed with is the fund balance, the reserves. Went from 3 million to 7.4 million, whatever it is.
Right.
96%, increase over, was it a 3-year period?
5 years. Almost 100% over 5 years for the total fund balance, and the unassigned is 155% over that same 5-year period. And then you have the board to thank and the controller to thank. So the town, every year, there's been an increase, and you're going in the right direction.
And Moody's has recognized that also. They've acknowledged that the town is, Moody's has realized that also and recognized that, during the reviews that we had recently over the past couple of years, they've indicated that the town is going in the right direction. Their fund balances, the reserves become healthier, and the overall budget planning and, progression of the budget increase, has stabilized well, and we're in good position. We're proud to say that we have a AA1 bond rating, which is also very good. It's excellent as well.
Excellent.
So we're making the right moves, we're doing the right things, and that's a testament not only to, to Mary Ann and her staff, but the town board as well, from a budget preparing perspective and keeping the town fiscally healthy. So,
I would just like to
congratulations
say
and thank
that in the years past, Scott Oley was the partner on this engagement, so we transitioned in, and I became the partner on the engagement in the current year. I just wanted to say that the transition went very smoothly. The audit went very smoothly. It was basically a tick and tie audit, which is the way it should be. Unfortunately, a lot of our clients are not that well prepared as Mary Ann was, and it's a pleasure to conduct this audit. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here, Alan. Thank you. And we do acknowledge Mary Ann. She does an excellent job with our finances and her staff as well.
She does.
So thank you all.
And the staff.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Al.
You're welcome.
You guys are welcome to stay if you choose not to. Have a good night. See you guys. All right. So that completes 1 and 2. 3 on the agenda tonight is from the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department.
Thank you.
They have added the following persons to their roles, and they would respectfully request to have them added. And I'll just read the names off. Joseph Bolito of Mahopac, Michael Morales of Mahopac, Gregory Pratula of Mahopac, Matthew Ramada of Mahopac. And they've also indicated that they respectfully request to have the following persons removed from the roll. So these following names are being dropped from the rolls of the department: Russell Argilla, Joseph Geary, Dylan McDonough, Gerald Supple, and Samantha Valdez. So they're adding 4 and dropping 5, so they're -1. All right, any members of the board have any questions, comments about the Mahopac Fire Department's new members and the members that are going to be removed? No? Okay. All right, that takes care of number 3. Number 4 is Mike Simone, Highway Superintendent, consider request to enter into an agreement with LEAF Financial Services for the leasing of an imaging copier in the Highway Department. This is a memo from Mike Simone. I am requesting authorization to enter into a 5-year contract with LEAF Leaf Financial Services for copier lease starting September 2017. See the attached copier specifications. Our current copier lease expires on September 11, 2017. This is there's 60 monthly payments are $121.07 per month. Our monthly rate has increased as the copier is an upgrade from our last copier. The Highway Department copier needs have increased since our system has been networked. We're utilizing the copier more and standalone printers less. So the Highway Superintendent is requesting to lease this copier for the Highway Department. Specifications are included. It's a digital imaging solution, multifunctional system, and it includes service and supplies, includes all service parts and labor, all consumables, does not include paper, staples, IT, computer time, if the copy is connected to the network, unlimited rep training. It's including is delivery and installation, connect to 4 computers, unlimited rep training. Condition, the proposal is good for 30 days, tax if applicable, proposal is confidential. All right, so everybody okay with the Highway Department and the Highway Superintendent leasing a new copier? Good with it? John, good with it? Anybody have any questions? No? All right. What do you do?
When we got the, we didn't get copiers for there and,
And
the rec.
recreation.
Okay.
It was just the town hall at
Yep.
that time. So, okay, all right. Thanks, John. That's it for, that covers, nope, we have one more. Rich Franzetti, sorry. Town engineer, consider RFQ for the operation and maintenance of the various town-owned water and sewer districts. Rich?
So in February of this year, the town board passed a resolution authorizing the engineering department to go out for a request for qualifications in connection with the operations of the referenced sewer water districts, which is sewer districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and Cromwell water districts 2, 3, and 12. The RFQ was advertised in April of this year, and responses received by the town clerk on June 19th of this year. 7 qualifications were picked up by prospective firms. Only 3 packages were received: Veolia Water, Severn Trent, VRI, of Environmental Services. The department reviewed the qualifications packages and has determined that Severn Trent, North America, is the most qualified respondent, and copies of the RFQ evaluation forms provided as part of your package. As the board may be aware, Severn Trent is the current operator of the facilities and has been the contractor for the past 20 years, and they perform this work satisfactorily. And the contract between the town of Carmel and STS is set to expire on December 31st of this year. So the board can either let the STS contract automatically renew or renegotiate the existing contract. If the board chooses the former, no further action is necessary. However, the engineering department recommends that the board renegotiate the existing contract with STES.
All right. And I concur with that regarding the renegotiating of the contract with STS.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Board members, any questions or comments for the town engineer with respect to this, renegotiating the contract with ST? All right. John, any questions, comments regarding this? Okay, all right. So going forward, Rich, just over the next several months, I guess, is there going to come a point in time where you'll notify ST?
Well, if the board needs to make an action to say we want to renegotiate, and I think then it's up to us as a town, the board, I will let them know that we want to renegotiate and this is what's going on, so, but they would have to meet with the town board and work that out.
Yeah. well,
Along with the engineering department, I mean, whoever else you think deems necessary is there, but I think the board would need to be as part of that whole negotiation process.
Yeah, yeah, I just quickly polled the board, and the board indicated that they would like to renegotiate the contract with ST.
That's great.
So whatever we need to do to facilitate that, make that happen, let's go ahead and do that. I don't know what the time frame would be, or the timing for that may be, but I would think it would be within the next several months, Greg?
It's got to be
Agreed?
before December 31st,
Yeah, yeah,
so.
In that time window, still talking.
yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll discuss that, we'll come up.
Yeah, so we need to
End
do
of
it.
the third quarter? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right?
All right, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that completes the agenda items for this evening's town board work session. Since we're alone at this point, we're going to just go ahead with the announcements. We do have some, so if anybody wants to give me a hand with these. Jonathan, John, you want to do that? That's John. Jonathan? Here, give you something to do after John.
All right, bulk pickup procedures. Everybody who's a property owner within the town of Carmel is entitled to 2 bulk pickups per calendar year. This is curbside. You would need to call 628-5000 in order to schedule it directly with AAA Carding. You need 2 weeks prior for requesting the bulk pickup date. Curbside bulk pickups are for resident household items only, and in order to avoid violations, you cannot, let's see, items of collection cannot be at curb in excess of 48 hours from the scheduled pickup. Each pickup is limited to 4 cubic yards. That's approximately 9 foot by 3.5 foot by 3.5 foot. Bulk pickups in excess of that amount won't be picked up and be left at the curb. Again, call 628-5000 to schedule directly with AAA Carding. You're entitled to 2 bulk pickups a year.
Great. Thanks, Jonathan. Frank?
This is an announcement with regard to Red Mills Historic Park Independence Day Concert, which is sponsored by Tompkins Mahopac Bank. This coming Tuesday, 4th of July, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., and rain date is July 5th at 6:30 p.m. at the Red Mills Historic Park in Mahopac Falls, New York. There will be musical entertainment by Norm Hathaway Big Band and a reenactment performance of the 2nd New York Regiment Brigade of the American Revolution. This is a free concert, so bring your blanket or chair. For further information, call Mary McDonald, Town of Carmel Historian, 845-628-1500, or Alan Warnicki, Chairman of the Red Mills Historic District Committee, 845-628-5705. And everyone have a very safe and healthy 4th of July holiday.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, I guess.
Working off of what Frank said, we do have our annual Sunset Concert Series for 2017, the Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Department. Again, all of these concerts are free. Bring a blanket or chair, and these that I'm about to read off are held at the Mahopac Chamber Park, right in the hamlet of Mahopac, right near Mahopac Point. It's Route 6 and Route 6N. They're every Thursday evening, and they start at 7 o'clock. The next one tomorrow is the Chatterbox 5, which is Motown, Disco, and Oldies. Again, that's June 29th at 7 o'clock at the Chamber Park. And then on July 13th, July 20th, 27th, and August 4th, you have a variety of bands coming to play. You can see which bands are being played on the Recreation and Parks Department website.
I know last Thursday's concert
Was in
packed.
Nashville, yeah.
It was packed down there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of folks there, probably 100, 150 people showed up for that. It was really good. So a lot of people had fun, a lot of blankets, a lot of long chairs, a lot of dancing going on, so. All right, yeah, I'd just like to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July. I know Frank mentioned it, but on behalf of the entire town, municipal government, and the staff here at the town hall, everybody please be careful on 4th of July. Have your barbecues, indulge in some beverages, but please drink in moderation and be careful.
No drinking and driving.
And no drinking and driving, for sure. And be careful with if you're around fireworks. Our next meeting is going to be on July 19th, so we don't meet again here publicly until July 19th. So this is our last meeting until then, and we do have one item in executive session that we need to go in and discuss with council. This is Greg Fulchetti, Town Legal Counsel. This is a litigation update for the town of Carmel. So we're going to close the meeting from executive session. We're not coming back out here. I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Councilman Lombardi, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Good night, everyone. Be well. We'll see you next time.